This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
From the Great Wall, the station is now the ultimate power in the universe, baby. Overview Radio, bring you Overview Podcast with your boy, Joey Badubi Jr. You know me already, man. No need to introduce myself and all that, man. I purposely said from the Great Wall.
The Great Wall.
The station is now the ultimate power in the universe because we are exactly at the Great Wall, man. You should be knowing where the Great Wall is right now, man. We are at Ndinaye Chengeta's Great Wall. I believe that the whole social media in Botswana knows where that place is. You know, today's episode is not your usual episode. Yeah, well, a usual face in Ndinaye Chengeta, but today we are here to outpour his human story, his overcoming story, and all that. We all know what the man has gone through. You know, one thing with him is that all his ordeals, or most of his ordeals, were very public. I don't know why. I don't know if he was intentional about it and all that. The divorce, the DNA, yeah, like the paternity fraud, what else? Yeah, the goats. You know, like the hustlers are the collapse and all that. But yo, the man seems to be back and everything. So we're here today so that we come listen and give him a chance to speak and get to hear what he says and get something from his overcoming story, because it's not every man yes, man, but we all know that, guys. It's not everyone who falls down, sleep, everything collapses around him, and then he comes back. But without any further ado, guys, welcome back, Ndinaye Chengeta.
Ultimate power in the universe.
Mr. Changs!
I'm back. Like Mukwata.
You're back like Mukwata.
Too much.
They slept on you like a Cresta Hotel. Yeah, Mr. Changs.
Yeah, 1 point.
Welcome back to Overview Podcast, my brother.
This is me, Katlo.
On a different season now. On a different
one.
season, different direction, different everything now.
Ke boa yana ke le influencer ya Tata State. Ena le stories se tsong ko morago.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We had to come driving here to the Great Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see that there's a Great Wall. I mean, like, we can never forget of how this place almost collapsed and all that, you know.
Yeah, I almost saw dust.
Yeah. yeah. Almost though, you saw dust.
I almost saw dust.
Oh, you almost.
Because I always have a plan.
Yeah.
So, Obana, even in the heart of chaos,
Yeah.
there's always that window of opportunity. And where we sit now, you'll find out that my entire comeback was because I think I used my downfall in order to come back to where I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Like we said earlier on, the scripture says somewhere in Genesis 50:20, the enemy meant it for harm, but God meant it for good.
Yeah, well,
Is that what you say?
in my world, I would say that God created a platform for me to shine now. More thing, he presented a table for me in front of my enemies.
Yeah.
Now they are there to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm giving them a show
Yeah.
that they will never forget.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Let's take it back from the beginning. I mean, not from the very beginning. I mean, everyone knows you now.
Yeah.
You've been on the platform before. If they want to know where you come from and all that, yeah, they can kindly go watch the previous episode and all that.
Yes.
But yeah, starting from the genesis of this whole comeback now, there has to be
Yeah.
yeah, like where everything was crumbling and all that. I mean, like I mentioned earlier on, it was public.
Yeah.
You know, it started off I think it started off with the whole YDF initiative collapsing and all that, and in the midst of that, like you got to divorce, and reason for your divorce law in public, you had a lovely daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you had a lovely daughter, and then it turned out that she's not yours and everything. Take us through that journey, like where, like when everything was collapsing.
Yeah. We thought it's unfortunate that, like they'll always say, the loudest vessels always make the loudest noise.
Yeah.
And that is what I came to discover as I was progressing in life. I think around 2021, I had a project that I was running. And we had conflict. But in that conflict, I had an idea. ke thusa ba bangwe because at the time I had no problems. I had money, I had everything. So I decided, you know what, let me share what I have. But unfortunately, not all plans will always go as planned.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was warned. Listen, you cannot work with Botswana. They will always find a way to destroy whatever you're trying to build. But I didn't listen. But you see, all those warnings telling
Yeah.
is a problem on its own. Plus, sometimes the way we were raised. We were raised in an environment hearing. If somebody says square now in the city. Whether you like it or not, you understand?
Kalanga culture. Yeah.
So it's out of principle. You have done this, so it automatically means I have to live by my mistake. So that's how I eventually got married. But under normal circumstances, I want to do DNAs first, get tested, or I can know what. But we didn't get such opportunities. So culture was also a part of my downfall. You understand? Because we respect our parents, we respect it now means sometimes you are forced to be civil or to do things in order to please society. The same applies to the project in Ran. This project was easy. We could have gone to court. Even a civil case, we could have easily won in court. But some things you have to look at. And Botswana has a small population. From here to here. Your entire life. And these people have relatives. And for as long as they believe and they believe in it because somebody is out there driving this information into their heads. They believe it. So I had to work with what was in front of me to say, I have an opportunity to either fight it in court or to say, no, you know what? I have money. Now, let me give them the money and lose everything, but retain my properties. And you know, like, what is funny is that I think the entire process, thing, in as much as we don't believe in fate and in God, I think Mudimu was at work. Because that project, the truth is, from the word go, I was spending sleepless nights, and I was losing a lot of money. I think when it finally collapsed, for me, it was actually summarizing my costs, my losses. So it was a good thing that it exploded.
Blessing in disguise.
It was a blessing in disguise. Now, other than that, again, even the issue we tuta moto, we tuta bato, how do you deal with other people? It hurts. The next time backfire, then you become their enemy. Remember, there are many things telling like the time Neki Sitoko serious crime. Those guys told me, you know what? You're unfortunate because these people, they don't understand what you're doing. It is now up to you to decide what. But how do you want to handle this mess? You understand? So fortunately for me, I met good people. The same people who were supposed to be dealing with the case, they had experience in issues of divorce. And I went through this thing during a time I was also supposed to face my divorce. And imagine the same people who are supposed to be investigating you. You see, now we are close. Now, this thing on its own has changed my dynamics. One, I was too trusting. I was so relaxed. If I trust you and you trust me, without that trust, we can build something together. Where we sit now, I have experience. You have to protect yourself before you protect other people. You come first. Where we sit now, I always make sure that I've protected myself before I go out to protect others. That I've protected those who protected me during the time when I was in trouble before I protect the public. Because the public can turn on you anytime. And like I was saying, the major thing it's batho mo mathateng ke gone go dumela gore ga gona le mathata go tsosa modumo go batho ba le 2 kana ba le 5 modumo wa teng because batho ba ba modumo, the negative people or the evil people, their voice is amplified because ke tiro ya bone is what they do. But but they will never comment on these things. They won't even defend you. You'll probably feel you are not being defended, you are on your own in what is going. But it is the nature of how it is. But while they are saying, how go about Facebook but defender because they've got a lot of work to do. Now, for me, the falling was not really a problem because we have fallen before. Like project Amarlate. You remember we are doing that project Kadi Million. In the end, so we are used to that. We are used to building. Jano, what I can tell you is that if you built yourself, nobody can destroy you. You can't destroy what you never built in the first place. I was not built by the next guy. I built myself. From Glenda, Ranadi Bara, the modeling agency, all the businesses that I've run. Boss, I'm resilient to chaos. Kore haketsa na mo business nki to tla tlalwa gore ke a reng sentle sentle. Hela ja kana go eleng gore irile ga batho yano ba se ban tlhobogile gote he's down and out. Make poster na go ke poster gore nna ke huma ka bodipa yano. People were shocked gore what is this now? Even my relatives call me, they ask me, I'm like, no, I'm just telling them what is going to happen. Look at the state where we are now. Look at where we are now. I am now the Great Wall. And the Great Wall is a statement. I can't be kept down. And it's not only a statement for me. Remember, you know, even the guy who shares your post plays a significant role in your life. Just by sharing that post, important next time. Now let me tell you the disaster. Yeah, this game telling it on Facebook has been popular. Yeah, Facebook that thing is bad because remember, the people who have got relatives. Their parents have got relatives. You may think that person is insignificant. They will not forgive you because last time you did something to their relative. You understand? So, karma exists. All the bad that you do on the planet to people, don't think it will be returned by this particular person. No! And it has begun to show all the bad people on social media are getting their fair share.
Are you talking about someone or some people in particular?
No, I'm talking about a group.
You've had a fair share of
I got a fair share,
social
yes.
media.
And you know, it was something saying you've got a particular group they'll drag others. And now it teaches others is the in thing. It's what people can just do and get away with it. But of late I've seen people get dragged to court and now people are which I think is a good thing for all of us. Where we sit now, like I said, you come back uchenchi. You are smarter now in how you do your dealings. Before, when we were running these businesses, I only came to learn about the need for a lawyer. I need a lawyer. And only when I brought in a lawyer, I'm on the other side of things. That's when I realized, you know what? A guy needs to put a lawyer on retainer.
Yeah, I was actually planning to ask you, how has the whole collapsing changed you? You know, let's say in all aspects, emotionally, socially, psychologically, and even business-wise as well. What kind of a person were you before you get to collapse, and
that's
what kind
a very
of a
good
person,
question.
Yeah, you
before
are now
then,
after the story.
I was too trusting. I was too relaxed. But now I'm not trusting completely. I check first, am I protected before I make a move. There's a point in time I felt so betrayed. But after some time, that anger, it goes away. Because the good people will come around you and show you, Runa, we are not part of this. It's like I'm blaming the whole country. But now when you look closely, you've got more people who like you than the people who create chaos around you. So whenever it changes you, you bottle up at first. And here's the reason why I should warn people by sometimes you just decide to kill yourself. It's unnecessary. Because these things, these stages in life, you are supposed to go through times of turbulence, so that we same thing applies to issues that divorce. Most people divorce irrelate. You blame the other partner wa mola. Kana you kill yourself or wa mumura or whatever. I get it. But in my case, I decided, you know what? Let me walk away and just disappear completely.
What would you say, like, your time of turbulence has taught you? Like you said earlier on, you are supposed to go times of turbulence. That's what a man is supposed to go through. Yeah, for you, what have you learned from that?
Well, I learned not to be too trusting, like I keep saying. I'm totally not trusting now because, like I said, people can turn on you. Because in my case, my enemies did not come from far. It's the people I used to idolize.
Tell us about that. Yeah.
Hey, could like Humpieno, you'd have friends like Bo Sani Seriti, for instance. While he falls in part of the group NK idolize. And the nice thing about him is that during the time when I was in trouble, he didn't run and disappear. No. He called me on the side and Amren. Just hold on. Same as Lene when he was in trouble. I didn't run away. I had to stand by him and say, no. We can't run away. You've got so many friends we have built relationships with. And now that you asked, building relationships is something I think I benefit a lot from. You know, guys by relationship guys like Bonobo Benson Putejo, by last time we were in trouble. Those are guys by I can't, because those are guys by all the artists that are brought to school. Benson, you know, Benson has gone an extra mile for me. When the way you see him is totally not the way I see him. And Benson was the MC there. Then also, never hold on to the past. That is why I don't reflect on the past to say I've got a nomicity with someone. No. It has passed. It's in the past. You understand? Hence the reason why Benson, TV, and they reference me but without saying the name. I don't have a problem because it happened, but it was in time. I think, I get it. So, I use my past in order to learn personally and to also teach others. Janu, whenever things happen to me, they go out public.
Tell us about that. Like, is that intention? You mentioned how gonna bite.
In that, there are certain people when they pick they rush to social media without your permission. And they try things in a way because by the time Babua, people would rather believe the negative aspect than to believe the positive side, because you're
let me ask you something before you carry on. You mentioned relationships earlier on. And then you mentioned this thing, okay, every time when something it goes off public. Clearly, or like all the times, it's always someone closer who leaks whatever.
It's always someone close to me, yes.
So what would you say about the type of friendships or relationships that you had then?
They've totally changed, because what I came to realize is that Obama King is not the people who are far from you, who don't know you, who will always create chaos. It's your friends. It's the people that you know, because banale envy. You are now growing. Because when I struggle, people seem reliable around you because you are dancing the same tune more. But you will escape the poverty. Now they have to drag you back or more. And that is what happened to me. I've learned I need to keep to myself and my private things to myself. That is why family social media. Things like Mwana, Facebook, Mosadi, I keep her as far away from social media as possible. Because Rona, we are the ones who arm these people with our own information to come and twist it around and demonize us.
Let's get back to the backstory now. I mean, with you, it's like everything was collapsing all at once. I mean, as a man, as a man who's in that mature masculine and all that, you have to be a king, obviously, and a king has to have a kingdom, and a kingdom like family, but family is in mosadi le ngwana, and then at the same time you have to fend for that family.
Yeah.
You know, the farm and other things. But it's like all these things collapsed all at once. The whatever sin we family and everything collapsed, and then during the midst of all that, family collapsed, and then everything just happened all at once for you. So I'd like to ask, obviously that time you were going through
it's
such a difficult time.
It's a painful period because I wouldn't say Heartbreak it's something that only happened to me. Obana, all the guys I think how bola is because Obana the moment they honali a deficiency amati. The first person to change in Namosadi over billion. You see now it brings us again back to the people around you. They are the ones who create that environment. So in my case, when it happened, yes, it hurt. But especially because all these things happened at the same time. I think the type of family structure I can learn is very strong.
I wanted to ask you, what was your anchor during that time?
It was my father.
Your father.
I love both my parents, but I respect my father. Because, growing up, papa ke motho a di principles ke motho e leng gore o like lena ko enertsana school ne re pasitse bana ba sa pasa, then they were taken to schools abroad, rona di sponsorship re sa hiwa but re pasitse go ba head. You know what I told my father, papa, you know people, why can't you connect me like other kids? You know what my father told me? So imagine I grew up in a family, excellent shortcut. Your old man will always put you on check and tell you, this is mine, it's not yours. To a point, my father drove the latest in the Mercedes. He still drives the latest Mercedes, E400. It's not yours. We clean up not mote. So that is why I work hard. And the first time I BMW, it was because so I've got a lot I have to do, because disappointing my father to me, it's not a nice thing. Imagine from school, rona ne re siiwa re tshwara noto, but motsadi antsa hatla ko sekolo. You know how it feels like gore motsadi o tsile. It pains you gore mara ke problem why. Then in life, here you are, no tlo dira mare lady o nokilwe, motsadi wa go lela ipotsora so nangwana ke motho ntse jang. Then o dira modumo o tlo kana o rile wa nyala, motsadi a bona gore nyame ngwana ke o tsile. Then boom, back to zero again. Family. Now there's no family, there's no child, there's no business. How do you think it feels like when your role model sees all that? But now I'm trying hard. So after my downfall, disappointed. The same family, let me come back now and prove to him I can be great. So that's why it became the Great Wall.
How close was he during the whole ordeal?
You know, a parent he will comfort you, talk to you, tone you down. Because what if and those are things they used to tell my brother, hey man, check on your brother. And my brother used to tell me, hey, that guy is strong. He's the strongest guy that I know. That one is totally out. So Lenna, I can imagine na ki pola man. Batadi ba me babasala ba utabo to ko ki pola. No man. I'm not one to take my problems and deliberately pour them to people that I care about. So that's why Yahui Polayone is totally out. I don't want people to be responsible for my chaos. Hence the reason why I had to come back and clean up the entire mess. Now it's walls all over, sculptures, etc. You know, but I don't want to be cocky. I don't want to forget what once happened. Gore, the same people around me, I don't know what they want. E kgona go tsoga e re ka moso. A bo go thuntse sengwe, go te ke molato wa sengwe, then I'm back to zero. You understand? So this time, I'm locked in. Mo e leng gore everything that I do, I make sure that I involve my lawyers. So that ke nne sure tota gore le ga ke thusa batho, ga ke iphitlhele ke le mo mathateng. So my father was very instrumental. Even, you know, the part e leng gore my father played the biggest role in my life in Yami Oak. Kuka or mdalo obotlha was kana ko ya DNA. You know, Papa is one person who dumelang gore your relationship is your relationship. Ha se ya gagwe. Ga interfere. Kore le ga relationship ya gago e ka go tshuwa go le go kae. He doesn't interfere. It is your problem. He doesn't want gore ka moso botso ga gore ke gaogane because of batsadi ba nthusi. So even the DNA, I had to go through the ordeal. Ke le one. Le divorce, I had to plan it and finalize it. Kile one. Then bekalatela papa kya gomara ke morena. Kana kya divorce. Abanta are ngwanake. You know we cannot be involved in your things. But whatever you do, we will support you. Obana gore he's neither saying do it or don't do it. He's saying umunna, you go and do it. Then I told him about the child and he says, but no ratangwa no ole. Lela hatsilo tene li tsoro ratangwa. Now that one you will see how to handle it. But because, you know, there is more to life than incidents that have happened to you. But my man, I'll tell you this for the first time. We already after the process of the divorce, I think I desperately needed an apology
From
my ex-wife.
why?
Or how the hell did we get to that place? What happened? But later I realized that I would never get it. Because immediately after the DNA, direction. So that was it up until today. So us parting ways that way means na go ntlo ga void ya, but ke santse ke na le connection ele ngwana. It's serious. So I pretended to be fine towards my family because I didn't want to hurt them. So I hurt alone. Because I spent a lot of time with that kid. All those type of things. And I didn't tell my family what I was dying inside. One day my father called me on Tara Moreno. I went to my father's house. Anna Hatzelen Nampo Zamaren. Kana hedi. What is wrong?
Wow, Bupam.
Ah, Nike Fedi Leho. Tara Morena, kana hedi. What is wrong? I asked myself, Tar, this time don't lie. You have exhausted all the lies. We have sorted out issue ya, dipudi, what, everything. What is wrong because of Fedi? For the first time, I told my father the truth. I missed the child. Papa, no problem. That is the truth. Janu, I get already talk whatever I wrote. Rakwa, wow, check in one obu anka ino. Hakerwa wrote, no problem. He stood up. When he reached the passage, as we will be going there, tell me what Harihitakwa. Rehetarir tota batla bona ngwana o feka gore rona kwa really dira DNA. So technically re itatse ngwana. So rehetarir batla go bona ngwana o fe. Just clarify that so that Harihitakwa nna le wena ga re thula ne ka di story. 2 ka ga se tlhole re le family le batho ba le ra divorce. Re hitla kwa re le bomang re tle go gomang exactly. Re batla go amogelwa jang. 3 tell me gore ga re hitla kwa if the correct father to that child comes aba re botsa gore re batla hang kwa re mora re I was embarrassed. You know, all that time I was in pain, but for the first time I was embarrassed. I'm fighting for something that's totally not mine. My father went, he got his jacket. By the time he came back, I knew I was a fool. Like a real fool. The deal, I was a fool. Yeah. I'm going home.
Yeah.
For the first time in over 3 months, I managed to sleep properly this time.
But yeah.
Ke utlwa gore gompieno ke kgonne go robala. I slept for about 2 days, non-stop. E le la ntlha go tswa mo go nna. Then my father called me again about Morena. Now that wena o rarabolotse bothata jwa gago, let's go into the next step. What's your plan? How are you managing life now with women? Ke bara ke re na banyana ke dule. Are no problem. Are you aware that everybody was watching you o tlhokomela ngwana ole? Le the wedding ya gago ba e bone. Le the way you no treat mosadi wa gago ba go bone. Do you know that gompieno you don't have a child? And you are one guy when you work hard, and all the women they know.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, believe me or not, you are the most wanted.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, I went home. I was happy this time. I was smiling, but I'm the most wanted. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Now wait.
Okay.
Went home. Make it a doctor form. Form. Kana papa ar. For montar.
Tobani.
Toba. For mo ar. Keleita. Ar. Rahu bua net. Le nna ke ba utu.
So it's out of bola.
Are ba bolai. Ba bolai. And during that time, my father told me, remember, Rona, we are cultured. You are not going to go out there and sleep with the whole country and try to bring girls here. No. You are going there to solve your problem. Only one. Then after you solve your problem with women out there, you will find someone in the process.
Yeah.
You will bring that person here, but at the right time. Later on, when you bring that person, boss, I went out. It was nice.
Say before then, wait.
Hey, Chief Ghost,
before time.
Yeah.
I mean, your father's like has and still play a huge role in your life.
Yeah.
What would you say to, I mean, like we have this some sort of a scourge, fathers are not in the home. What would you say to a boy child or a boy child time? What are they missing? Yeah, like what are they missing?
Obana having a father like what I took you through, the principles that my father are instilled in me. How to be decent. My mom and my dad, but from the time and my dad is one guy you'd see him when he was going up the ladder English medium, but and right now I look back, I'm like, you know what? I love this guy. I respect this guy because this guy, he reminds me of me now. Just to make sure that my family is fine. And when I reflect and look back, but my father has been doing this for us. For things we did. I felt but as you grow up and mature, you realize Brai has always had the best interests at heart for me. And you know, all that guidance. Like I told you, report collection. You see that thing, it instills in you. Hence the reason why because I don't want to fail. So having a father figure in a family, I think it plays a serious role because we want to be in good marriages like our parents. To a point now, we try hard to make sure that our relationships and marriages work so that we can be like our parents. But you don't know how a father would work hard to make sure that the family stays together. So when so it's important to have a father figure. Even the risks, because remember, I'm a businessman now because and all the businesses that I failed, my father had warned me in advance. Papa blind. It's a business, proper. You are taking the wrong direction because I fail. So all the times that I failed, he had told me. But he always gives me the opportunity to go out and see for myself because so then when I get into trouble, I think, but what's the exit plan? And honestly, my father is growing. And this project for me is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. I need it to be a success. You understand? I need this place to blow my father away. Could it, even if my dad was to pass, is serious. Because there's nothing as painful for a parent as the English medium but hanka exita ngwana wa go phimola sengwe le sengwe o wa go sokola. You need to prove to your parent gore you will survive even if he's not there. And you have to start proving. You have to convince your parent o survivor the siblings as well as relatives, because my father is big on family. You know, her relative ya rona ngwe sokola he would rather take that person atla go nna mo lapeng kana mo tsenya school. He has done that for a lot of our relatives. So he taught me gore family tota man is serious to a point eleng gore le ga rena le mathata family is always there. Ya no le ra mana ga ka nyamana go out.
Yeah.
But one zamela sharp ban thokomela ban to see the next thing na ka ipola ele.
Yeah.
Wow.
With your experience, well, like not necessarily your experience, but with your knowledge, experience, and what would you say are the biggest killers of marriage in our society specifically?
Well, fairly
you mentioned
speaking,
money earlier
fairly
on.
speaking, Obana, I'll tell you the truth. Women, there are things that they want, but they cannot get everything that they want.
Yeah.
Women want time.
Time.
A man who has time does not have time to go and make money.
True.
He's here.
Yeah.
When there's no money, it means he has time, but good at all these things, you need to balance. Because honestly, relationship then issues to apologize. An apology, boss. An apology goes a long way. There's no need for you are wrong. Why not just tell the other person, no, I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Then see now that you have apologized, because some reactions are caused by people do not apologize. But if they apologized, maybe things could have been better. Because how apologize to me? What does that solve? It shows what now I'm the immature one. So let na go tone down but motoke mama nyango but apologize it. Ne ke batla gore a reng jano. So na ke dumela mo apology. Le gore people should carry their own load so that bana ba khona go tlhokomela. Because the other thing ke gore o bana mo relationshiping. Relationship tsotlhe di bola ke eng ke responsibilities. Kana there's nothing as easy as go robala ngwanyana wa motho. Because when all you're doing is you spend monando se le mo hoteleng kana mo lodging. Hell. Then she gets excited. She thinks when you are a fool gore ga we go. Because when I will be busy, all the boring things now, they become your responsibility. So those responsibilities, because they are boring and they are berekelo and they are expensive, mean so now it seems like when you are not a nice person, funny, fun. But you don't have the money for fun because you are doing all the serious things. So responsibility is the number one killer in the relationship.
Responsibility.
Yeah,
is the number one
responsibility.
killer.
Yeah. That's why all the good guys get shanked.
Because like that's a responsibility.
Yes. They take too much responsibility while they're out there hustling. Some irresponsible guy what's
bro, I'm even speechless. How do you think social media affect relationships?
Nice one. Obana, cheating has always been there.
Yeah.
But neresa tshwarwe and uga ka re ne re le nna ke le moteng ne re sa tshwarwe because ha ke batle ya finger pointing gompieng ne re sa tshwarwe because information ine sena bosupi ibile ina sa travel ka bonako jaanong gompieno ga o bona ona le semamang. There's always somebody who will post on social media or people know who your girlfriend is, so they can always qualify for so information now travels faster. And therefore, the relationship they last more. How can I talk? They are not on social media completely. But while they are clueless of what is happening out there. But people are never happy for others goreng relationship e tsamaya sentle. Hence it has become very reckless for you to publicize your happiness on social media, because the more you publicize o tena batho ba boa ba tlo go boela ba tla go senya gone mo e leng gore is making you happy. So as you are being happy, when they are hunting for ways of destroying what you have in order to destroy that happiness, gore le hele le unhappy le group.
Do you think you might have done the same thing with your ex-marriage? Because like you were publicizing it.
Possibly, yes, you are right. Gape le nna gape remember gore go tswe diketsaetso tsa gore ngwana e ka tswa swami. I only discovered it on social media as well.
How?
Mongwana a commentile mo posting ya se tlhomo a kwa dile goreng Chengeta o bisu jela batho madi batho ba kwa ba mo direla bana.
Hey. Like it turned out to be true.
Yes, and that is how I tend towards the direction ya goreng go ka dirwa di DNA.
Damn.
Wa bona.
So like social media is very destructive to relationships.
It's very, very destructive. If it wasn't for that comment, I would not have known.
Bro, like
so that is how I ended up getting to that conclusion. Ya go dira di DNA. It's social media ha e gatante.
Were you able to get over her now, your child? How do you address her now? Is she your former child or your ex-child, or how do you? Because to some of us, like,
I
usually
avoid
child, yeah.
issues tsa kwa bana. Because ke tsa gore lehatshelo has moved, but in my case, it le fa go kgaogano like I said. No apologies, no nothing. So but what I gore o bona sometimes ga go sena peace. It's best gore ga go kgaogano. Just cut the tie. Ya sengwe le sengwe completely. O mongwe a tsamaye le wena o tsamaye. Don't try to find out gore o dira eng le mang what. So I don't want to know. Ke go because I've moved on. And mind you, remember, you don't want to be peeping on in issues tsa ko morago when you want to go forward. You need to focus. Ha ile gore wa go pele, ya go pele. Stop dragging issues tsa ko morago o di tsisa gone because they are a turn off. Even to our partners. You know, I try to avoid issues tsa ko morago because sometimes people say, but how will your partner feel? How will you put tsa ko morago? So this guy was ale ko morago. Because right now, you know, man, the partner that I have, I'm actually really fine, man. Kore one omonte. Wa ithokomela. Gape ga tur. Ha tur. Nya ha tur.
Come
on, nice.
Let's look of the like
nice.
The DNA part now. Ndinaye Chengeta o tswa go ira DNA testing. Ya ngwana ga. It came back negative, and he was able to survive that. Gompieno, a lot of men, if not all men, but they want to do DNA testing for their kids
because they think somehow it puts them in a better platform to say they've won. So for the longest time,
the question that I want to ask is this one. Ka Ndinaye Chengeta found out that ngwana aswa and then he survived. Does it mean that I will survive that?
No.
Take us through there.
Like I said, now I've got a strong support system. Overcome. People should not make the mistake ya ba kanye gore DNA is solve a problem. Ya even na ke squinchy. Gore basadi ba ntse ba wina so re le bana ra wina. No, nobody wins from DNA. Se diragalang ke gore because you have found out Luena, it destroys you. And it may push you to make mistakes. You might end up with you've created chaos. It ends your entire life. So the one thing DNA is that the DNA testing facilities by distance it's from the counseling aspect because Bonnet they professionally do the DNA. So Bonnet but they are DNA testing, but they do not cover the counseling. All they do at the beginning is they will tell you what DNA ya. Then they are going to tell you what the results are. So my fear is that as guys rush to DNA, but what's a cancel? It then means after they find out results telling favorable, then they go home. They have a problem. In counseling, we always say, how are you doing? Or we have to lay ground rules now. But if we go into war, it then means so meaning these people have DNA, basa prepare you in advance. ga go ntse a le gona go buisanya ka le ga o gane or whatever, it means ba tshwantse ba itseele ditshwetso wa bona. So my fear is that they'll run for DNA ele fashionable, but the question is, how are they going to manage it without counseling? That's where people will definitely kill each other. So it's not right that Raipeta Ribuaka DNA and counseling. All we are lobbying for is we are trying to conscientize guys. You cannot do DNA and forget about the counseling. That counseling is key because it has to be done first before you even walk into counseling. Because
just like
during
HIV
that time,
testing.
yes, the results and how are you going to manage it? You cannot manage it. Counseling. Counseling. When? How can you reconcile? Hey, you can't. You can't discuss with someone.
So what you're saying is that because right now the society is calling for DNA testing to be mandatory,
which can't happen.
Yeah. Okay.
It can't happen.
Why?
Like Ndadi has been mentioning, it's too expensive for the country to pursue it. Because just the cost of thing, but we are like family. Imagine if 10 families, for example, in a day did their DNA testing at 3.8. That's 38,000 already.
Can it be done in public hospitals?
Well, I don't know because Kana live on a baba local. I've never heard anyone the results the test do are verified. I suspect that they are being verified for South Africa. So meaning that the government would also have to go and do verification. You've become very passionate with this DNA issue now, and like it's like you are turning it into a career. Why? Because I don't see it as a bad thing. I don't see it as an interesting thing. It's something selling. If it is not addressed, it will cause more harm than good. So it's best to worry. Everybody excited about what we did. But it's the consequences that need. We just survived because we are heroes. No. To see you and remember, because I've got a background in counseling, and also remember, because of how disappointed. That's why you can't do some of the decisions like yeah. Because you are respecting your parents. The scripture, the Bible says as well, a good man falls 7 times and rises 7 times. Yeah. Comeback. Yeah. You made a good comeback. I mean, you made sure that your comeback is public as well. It had to be. It's a statement. Why? Yeah, like, why did you have to make it public? The reason why it has to be public is because I'm coming with an army. An army of people by Lengkore. They've been there. Yeah. And as they are watching, they are relating. They want to survive too, woman. Yeah. Because a lot of people have got problems. The business is so my story is not my story alone. It's our story. That is why when I do something, I've got a lot of support. I've got a lot of support because it's people who were in my position saying, if he survives, I've received a lot of calls about why it was so bad that they felt like maybe they should hurt someone, hurt themselves or whatever, but they were like, for a whole year and he survived. Why can't I survive? So they will call me. A lot of people will call me and pay me my 200 pool just to narrate to them survival. But why is it not the right direction for you to take that decision? I've read somewhere like the other time that it's not every man who comes back, but only kings do come back. Like I mentioned earlier on, a mature man or a mature masculine man, he's a king. Like there's a kingdom. And like you made sure of that as well. I mean, like there's a young family that you have now. Yeah. You have a beautiful wife and a beautiful child. With this child, with the lady any or not? I can't tell you such things because for starters, we are trying to avoid issues. We are overexposed. So with this new family of mine, I've got a beautiful wife who is great, but I don't want to go into issues. No. Yeah. But what I'm Monica. Yeah. After Lenyalo, she disappears again. Yeah. Because she's not a public person. Tell us about her. You wanted to go on about her earlier on and then now you have the platform. Tell us about her. Yeah. My girl, ke motho o sharp o blind.
Yeah.
Yeah. First and foremost, Chirelo montle. She be hot, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, baby, be hot. Nachiriaka is hot.
Yeah.
No, she's hot. Let her mama pull her Brian go top.
Oh, well, I
Omotopi.
For real.
Hey, even my brother. I'm pull her boss. Omotopi. So, sometimes when people ba go ha props for utopi lesson,
Yeah.
when I have motivation, ya gore o bro meto.
Oh, yeah.
Olen. Then Ostwana. Kore mo eleng goreng you know ga ba tidio tse di turang wa twate ngwa tseng kore she's manageable. Mo eleng goreng le ga o mo direla sengwe she really appreciates. Ke motho appreciate and thata gore you've gone out of your way to do something for her. Waban. Then she's one person who cares about me and our child. Kore ke motho eleng goreng le ga sna madi mon she'll go out and buy me something. She'll make sure that mana di rolone re reketswe mahura re reketswe di spray she does all that ga ratwa ela wa bona body t-shirt gore na di t-shirts tse di nice wa bona gore di vest tsa go di phata
Sounds like before when you also irelo ya.
why I got to see about my so we are going I don't want to talk about it. I don't have it dragged into that space. Yeah. So you know she's nice. Even kare o gona go rekela le ngwana wa bona ene gape wa hasela o gona go panda o itla le gore o itsorking go dio tse dingwe wa go re gape motho wa itirisang wa bona it's nice comes home ga se motho wa in out what le go nwa ga anwe wa bona so I'm very comfortable with her ga se motho o tswang family ya bone very nice hey mom is so nice mo eleng gore ga ne tsheri a dire DNA fraud ona go bola ke mmagwe pele ga ke mmola
Seng wena.
listen kore mosadi wa le o ntse jana
Yeah.
le ga ke a bua le nna go bua motsadi prop wa bona kore o gona gore a ntsenye mo line
Yeah.
ke motho o dumelang gore things have to be done right just like my father kore bona mosadi ole le mama le papa ke batho ba street ya so I think I've fallen in the right area e leng gore ena le botsadi jo e leng gore boteng gape le family ya bone hela it seems like they are friends with our relatives here and there so ba itsewi ka botho jo e leng gore you know it's nice to go and get married to a family e leng gore ena le botho lanta ne re sa check go di family gate go iragala boteng ne re ita tshela hela
Yeah. What does love mean to you now with everything that you've been through?
to me one ke dumela gore with everybody that you come across don't dare try to bring in your past experiences into this one because this person is not that one give this person a fair chance to prove themselves now when it comes to love now love is not only about showing me affection etc no it's also about your input in terms of your responsibilities because there's no relationship ailing horeng ya go escape a responsibility.
True.
Now my worry ke gore how do you approach your responsibilities because ga ile gore wena you are not a team player it then means na ya no ke a go imelwa ke le one wa bona now with my partner ke motho eleng gore she wants to know gore o kai o ira eng a o jile business e dira jang ne le ira eng she wants to know wa bona so I always update and the nice thing about such a woman is you work hard every day so that you can have a story to go and tell Kurapi. So I always have a story to tell.
Yeah, is he your best friend?
I've got many best friends, including Badubi. Some Juju.
So you know what, like is he one of your best friends?
She's on top of the list, because Totamana has shift, but I've got people around me, but dangerous, like Juju Vai.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, these are guys by they've got stories to tell. You know, they're with you, they support you, more genuine, more So I have learned how to choose friends better and how to check what the background because in the past with friends message there are people we do not even know we just jump popular maybe on social media then only to realize later you created chaos because how it's motu.
But you know that we are the ones who attract them, right?
No, definitely.
Yeah, like at the end of the day. I've heard from someone that your child like looks a lot like you.
Baya. Baya.
So I wanted to,
Bandonyepa.
yeah. So like, I wanted to ask you, after everything that you went through, like the DNA fraud and all that, and then eventually you have this beautiful woman, like who bore you a beautiful daughter. How did it feel like the time that you get to
Namana
see her,
karata ba
and
namun.
hold her like that?
Karataban.
Yeah.
You know, like right now, when a guy's got 2 teeth, though,
Yeah.
she's troublesome, that one.
Yeah.
So, you know, mana go na le ngwana mana go monate.
Yeah.
Kore o bana ga tshwantse go go tlhapa ba sia. Amna. It's nice. As much as she's a nuisance, it's nice.
Yeah.
Bosigo a tsoga ba tamashi o mo siza. You know, those are nice moments. You know, we've got so many good memories still in goreng gompieno motho a batla sweets a ithuta go bua o setsa itse stako.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's nice. And gape more than anything wa bona taking you back to the whole DNA thing and parenting. You know, the reason why natuta kele for DNA is because ke dumela gore gompieno there's no harm in you being with a woman o nang le ngwana o seng wa gago. There's no harm in it.
Okay.
So long as she respects you and she acts like a partner ya gago. Le ngwana o mo acceptile gore kwa gago. Wa bona? So men should be given that opportunity ya go itse gore a mme o kwa gago kana yang, so that ga ile gore gongwe he wants gore out of the children go nne lo e leng gore is biologically wa gagwe a kgone go na that opportunity. But ga le sa dire DNA, imagine gompieno if I had realized maybe ke sa tsekele bo 70 years gore the child is not mine, ke mo tsentse dikolo what sengwe le sengwe nna ke sena wa me o gona go bola motho. So me ga o boleletse ko morago kwa, you can just say no, but this woman has been good to me, ayano re dire we leng wa me. Then because o ntsa sentle le nna ke tlo go tsa sentle ke tlo tsa le ngwana sentle wa bona.
Yeah. Sounds like you talk more about apologies and all that. Are you a forgiver?
When you have apologized, because an apology, yeah, it disarms you. And that person is not hitting you back. You know who looks like a bad person.
Yeah.
You become the bad person. So an apology, it reverses the psychology. In that, how much apologize it? But
yeah. Let's talk about business now. I mean, yeah, you're back. The Great Wall.
I come back
and everything. What is it that you are doing differently now? Like you mentioned earlier on, some things, you admit, okay, some things, as much as you were misunderstood and all that, some things were a blessing in disguise and everything, but you're back again. What is it that you're doing differently now to, like, what's the different, like, do you have any different attitude that you portray towards your business now?
Yeah. One. I'm one guy where I like to talk about what I'm going to do before I do it.
Okay.
So that if I fail, those who want to laugh at others can laugh at me.
Okay.
For me, it works as motivation. I'm one person where how you should achieve what you set out to do. That's one. Two, I'm very clear about my partnerships with everybody. We are leasing out around 40 units. I'm very clear the contract yari nake hakai to hakai. And it's clear that you don't own a portion of my farm. Where now you are a tenant. You put your things here, but after this, boom, you go out. So contracts are very necessary. Even ka project if we had clear outlined contracts, what happens next? So contracts are key. Now, loyalty. I'm one guy who believes in the loyalty yabato baba hatta segaka. Obana the guy who this entire farm. Kibatu bali too. He's the same guy who built my house go Mupad. During the time when I was in trouble, and that guy didn't charge me much. He didn't charge me much. And for the garage what the guy did not charge me much. I respected him for that because at that time he saw something in me that others did not see. So during that time when I was down and he was prepared to allow me to have a house and Tusa. Now really a few years after He was in the same position. Now, when he came to me and told me, Chengeta, great all. He packed his bags and came here. It was December, ka Christmas. Ka Christmas, ke gare runtumolla gomo repa di foundation le. He told me I stay here until this thing is done. He's still here. I've made promises to the people around me. I've promised them, Moren, we are going to finish this farm. The events venue, you are going to manage it. And I'm going to keep that promise because the guy has also kept his promise. There are people around me, they understand the blueprint. Good, they understand where we are going, and therefore, even their hard work. Weekend. Imagine weekend in order to build your vision because they believe in it. They've been following you on social media. They did not come here by chance, but by choice. We can see your vision. We want to be a part of this vision because this vision, and they are there.
Yeah. I'm one of my business mentors.
Yes,
you know him, right?
He's my friend.
Yeah. He says your biggest asset as a businessman is your employees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when I go to this asset, this asset is worth more than 4 million. But it's in the hands of our employees. Not to me, they're doing a wonderful job. Because I've got no complaints. Like look what I'm paying. I don't even have issues saying what is what.
Let's talk about the farming industry now in Botswana. I don't know, bro. Like, we always see you and Juju Van competing up. Obzalen is in the mix now. I mean,
what's that, Taratan?
Yeah, man. And we know that as a country, we are not food sufficient, we are not food reliant and all that. And we produce food through farming and all that. As a farmer and as a businessman, what would you say about farming right now, like in the country?
Farming has become risky, seriously risky, and I don't think a lot of people are profiting from it. Because one, subsidy in a the elimination of subsidy now means 220. Now we are buying at around 340. For the cocoa layers, the feeds, it seems like the quality has changed because the cocoa are not laying like they used to. But the price of eggs has not gone up. Meat, the cocoa, the broilers. The cost of feed in it from 275 is now at 450, 480. It's more expensive, but namaya cocoa I see so now I don't want to sell to anyone anything because it's a loss. Even my vegetables. Somebody comes with a truck here I was with my employees. Next thing, 1 pula 50 tebe bandele truck ya motho e tetse o gonetse $150. And when you have worked, so farming is a problem right now. Because everybody we were irrigating. But selling is not a good idea at the moment until government decides to change their approach towards the food banning in then Botswana would probably make money. But for now, they're making losses.
You are seen or regarded as some sort of farming influencer or agri influencer. I understand like this is an economically technical thing. What's your take on the import ban? Like the vegetable import ban, stuff like that.
I'll tell you my position.
Yeah.
I don't care. Because in the end, the truth is, as an entrepreneur, you have to find a way to survive. I don't want to lie to you. A lot of people are crying. Money is not circulating. I don't know what is happening. I don't want to point fingers, but money is not circulating. Money is not circulating to a point. If you are broke when Joey, salary. More farming, for example, while the cocoa it's going to crash agriculture, this new direction area. So now I've just decided, like, no, with my 2 boreholes in my farm, ke itemela le babereki ba me le family ya me ke ja mo farmong ya me ke nwa metsi ya me mo farmong ya me ke solarize itse. I don't even want to transact anything because I don't want to be seen to be a nuisance. Ke khala gore ha go dirwe dilo sento whatever. I don't want to be involved in the noise. I'll just eat mine here and keep quiet so I don't have an opinion.
Social media now. I for one feel like social media is it's a double-edged sword. You know, it's like it's very good when you use it good.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's very destructive if you are not careful.
True.
What's your take on social media in terms of
The good and bad.
the good and bad? For
Business
both,
wise, etc. etc.
yeah, for both commercial wise and
Yeah.
personal wise.
On social media, like you are saying, it's true. It's a reversed edge sword. E leng goreng, e kgona go tlhaba wena, e kgona go tlhaba ba bang, wa bona? Issue about social media is that I think, especially our influencers, they need to be taught how to manage their social media accounts because a lot of them it's like a waste of following. You've got this number of following. More they just see an idiot on Facebook the whole day. But he's not benefiting from it. At least most of our influencers don't benefit. I'm sure when you follow me, proper. Now I charge for the adverts. And because my platform is mature, businesses flow into that platform. Because you distance yourself from mudumo. Noise. Stay away from noise. Be a clean brand. But why is or no? You're a clean brand. You're following. Block everybody who is negative, my man. Then adverts will come. In a day, how 1,000 influencer. The moment they have 150,000 followers, you 1,000. 2, you should be able to market all your businesses and make money out of social media. 2, 3, you need to be able to brand yourself proper. Social media.
Yeah. We left with 5 minutes now. Let me ask you these questions. With a man who has went through a lot and everything has went public and all that, do you think it's okay for a man to be vulnerable in public?
Well, that
is it an okay thing or is not a good look or what?
It's their choice, man, because others are vulnerable, others are not. Others can survive through hellfire, completely. So that one I cannot dictate if it's good or bad.
Do you think the society provides maybe some sort of a like a green carpet for men to be vulnerable?
Well, issue here DNA. DNA if I because even after mutakomita fraud ya DNA. I want to action one because so clearly it creates a problem for men. Yes.
Yeah. Lastly now, what do you think your purpose in life is?
To uplift others, to be that beacon. I believe that God has put me on this planet so that others can learn through my journey to be able to say, you understand? So I believe my purpose, hence the reason why to talk about in the positive and I don't engage in anything negative is because my clear belief, I have to be a clear-cut role model. I have to always remember there are people watching. They're going through hell. But when they check on your page, but Brian, survivor, Ibile, Wapomel, no.
Yeah. Lastly, I understand that you are planning on
a massive event.
Yeah. Massive events and other events and all that. Is this an events venue now? Or
no,
what?
it's not.
Okay.
No, what happens is,
yeah.
And I want my things to always blow up.
Yeah.
So in this case, we've got an event that is coming up, Heaven on Earth. Basadi have supported me through all my chaos. Why to me this? But the mo batla go itsa dinepe because go lebang kete this journey I was not alone. Ne re le bantsi mo teng batho ba support ba nthusa akere. So now I want them to come and see the work. Batla go itsa dinepe mo famong ya bone e ba ntse ba yaga. Le di tickets tse ba nthuta sang go di rekisa tse dintsi so that they can come and experience a victory for all of us. We together are the Great Wall.
One time, what's that one mistake that you'll never repeat?
Trusting people by longer do not deserve to be trusted and bringing them close to me and mentioning that they are my friends. That's a big mistake.
Is that one thing that you regret the most in life?
Nothing so far because everything has turned out to come through as an advantage for me because gompieno ke survivor. Ka diphoso tsa me tse ke di dirileng ke tsone they put me where I am today. I'm now popular ke itse ke mongwe le mongwe mo eleng gore any business I spit out ke a dira. The stakeholder di tabogile, di sponsora, batho ba tla ba tabogile. So it was a blessing in disguise. One to see it.
Yeah. How do you feel about your enemies?
After something happens, you can go where you go. Because I've got no time.
Yeah.
And you know, they say, we don't have time. We are working here.
Yeah.
Remember, we have to impress our parents.
Yeah.
We are building an empire, and there are people watching us. So we cannot be moving backwards, and we cannot entertain. Yeah.
You know, for me, I always say that there had to be a Judas show that Jesus can reach his destiny. You get it? So, like, I really appreciate my enemies, bro. You know? Like, they think that they're destroying me or whatsoever, but hey, like, they're doing a brilliant job for me.
Now I'm a Satan on to see.
Yeah.
But hey, I can happily say, we introduce it to the entire country. Hey, I'm on to see it. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
Hey. So thank you. Thank you very much.
You know, that's why God says love your enemies, guys, because they will do something trying to destroy you. But yo, God will always mean it for your good and all that. Mr. Shanks, are you done?
Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much for being here, man. Any last words to the people?
Hey, come through to the Great Wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
No jokes.
Yeah, man. That is Mr. Ndinaye Chengeta. What does Ndinaye mean?
Ndinaye.
Oh, Ndinaye.
And my surname means to cherish.
Oh, to cherish.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Like that was Mr. Ndinaye Chengeta.
Amen. Amen.
In the building, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Remember that this episode is proudly, and the whole overview podcast with Joey Badubi is proudly sponsored by Kanako, the best and most reliable commercial and industrial equipment supplier or store. Check them out on the socials. It's Kanako equipment, whatever that you want to buy, man. Agri equipment, bakery equipment, catering equipment, medical equipment. Just talk to Kanako equipment on the socials. You will find that number. They'll call them or WhatsApp them, and then like they'll fix you up. GOMZ'DA Barber is the nigga who does my hair, man. Check out GOMZ'DA Barber out on the socials. You know, his salon is out in what you call it, African Mall or die and all that. Yeah, like it's the best in town and all that. Lifetime Traders Academy. You know, I always say this, guys. Like Cheng was saying, the economy is bad, man. So yeah, like let us learn new skills. You know, Forex is another skill that you can learn, but this one is a legitimate school that is fully accredited by both UKA and HRDC. You know, it's the only Forex Academy that is accredited by Router. Like it's a professional setup and all that. Check them out on the socials as well. Lifetime Traders Academy and all that. Who am I forgetting? Oh yeah, guys. Yeah, remember. Yeah, remember, guys. Check out. Apparently, like, you guys decided to call them my kids and all that. Yeah, they're my kids, Clueless and all them. Check them out on the socials and all that. How do you feel about Clueless, Mr. Chenks?
Hey man, those kids are coming up on now. Hey, but man, Chief goes coming up, we are seeing.
Yeah, guys, check out Clueless, check out Lala Voka. Thank you so much, Botswana, for following this platform, and check. You know, we have viewers from across the continent, man. Uganda is in the building as well. South Africa has always been in the building ever since we started, man. Uganda is what else? Nigeria is in the building. Tanzania is in the building. Namibia is in the building as well. What else? Zambia, yeah, like we noticed Zambia and Zimbabwe in the building as well. Yeah, but UK is in the building as well, obviously. Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for tuning in, man.
Man, I got to Chief goes to Tanavana.
Yeah, man. Overview podcast. We are.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.